He's a Michigan State linebacker, old school. I mean, he could play in any era. He could play in that era where, like, you could tackle a guy and he could get up and still run. Like, you had to stop the forward progress. The guy had to give up before they blow the whistle. He could have played in that era. I love that guy.
Coach, I heard you a big time boxing fan.
I don't know if I'm big time, but I do enjoy the sweet science.
You got Spencer and Bud Crawford, who's a friend of mine, coming up this weekend. Who you like?
I got to go with Bud. I got to go with Bud. That's going to be a good fight. You see the monster fought yesterday morning, like at 8 o'clock. Did you see that knockout?
I did see the knockout.
He hit him. He set him up with a jab to the body, then hit him with a straight right. I think he broke his jaw. That's a long ride home from Japan, bro. You go with 2 belts, you got to come home when you got no belts. I mean, yeah, but I got to go with Bud. It's gonna be a good. I would have loved to be out there for that, but obviously I got work to do. Yeah.
How do you evaluate your NIL program as it pertains to other programs? How do you compare them?
I don't know. How do you do that?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because you don't know what the numbers are. No one really knows exactly what players are getting offered or what they're getting from these other places or how much they're actually spending. You know, it's not public information. How do you really know what the truth is? You know, and so we're active in this space. Obviously, we have support from our donors, and so we're in position to be in it. As you see, we're in it with a lot of good players, and it's coast to coast. I mean, so it's interesting. We could be in it from a kid from California that decides to go to a top Pac-12 school, and our fans are disappointed. I think that's a good thing. When we're in it with those guys, and we're starting to get our fair share of those guys.
Not to lead you, shouldn't there be a way for everyone to know for sure what everyone?
I don't know what the answer is. I mean, it's just because I don't think anybody cares what I think. Like the decision makers, right? So I can get up here and talk about NIL and the portal and what it should be, but does it really matter? It's like, okay, this is what it is, and now how do we maneuver? How do we put ourselves in the best position to get players and win games? Because I don't waste a lot of time, doing that, because I just don't think anybody's listening to me.
You've been through the next level, guys, contract negotiations, everything else. Do you feel like this cycle in particular, guys are starting to use the portal, use the media transfer, use all those things and NIL to their advantage with what they're doing?
Everyone's using the portal. It's not just football and basketball. All sports are doing it, and they've been doing it. Other sports they've been building rosters like with transfers.
I meant more from a financial standpoint.
Yeah. Well, each school is different because, how many NIL dollars do you have? It can easily become the have and the have-nots, even more so than it was before. But there is a kind of an NFL type element to it because obviously you have a finite amount of money, so how do you put values on players, and then as you go into the portal, sometimes it takes a little bit more to get someone out of the portal than it does out of high school ranks. Sometimes it just depends on who that player is and what your needs are and how many guys are out there on the market available at that position. So it is very similar to the NFL, but there's a lot less rules, a lot less regulation, and a lot less parity. Because there's no salary cap.
Yeah, it seems like they're using all those things because there's no contract.
Yeah, so why wouldn't they? I mean, it's very treacherous out there. I mean, it's a different ball game. It's not the same job that I took in February 12, 2020. It's totally different, and just imagine if the NFL was like this. And I'm not saying that it's not to this extreme, but say Detroit drafted a guy in the first round. And they gave him a signing bonus, and he played for him. And after his rookie year, he declared himself a free agent. How do you think that league would work? So
a little along those lines. You say nothing really surprises you, but when Keon went in the portal and how that all played out, was there at least a little surprise or disappointment, or how did you kind of process?
I wasn't surprised at all. I really wasn't. I wasn't surprised.
Just because of the player he is, or just the environment that we're in?
Just the environment. I mean, that was probably like the first time that Michigan State and our fans have really experienced like the portal in that way. Like, wow, this what happened? What's going on? But that's been like, how do these other schools feel when we get players and we get good players out of the portal? We've gotten good players out of the portal. I mean, that's college football. That's college basketball. That's how it is. I mean, guys are coming and going, and they're doing what's best for them. All you can do is wish them the best. You know, but that's all you can do, because I mean, it works both ways. You know, and so you know, I wish them the best. Like, guys are trying to make their way. They're trying to put themselves in what they think is the best position for them to be successful, to get to the next level, so they can take care of their families. That's all they talk about. You know, so we'll just see how it goes.
Northwestern news came out. When you're a head coach of the program, you have an immediate sort of double check sort of the end of the season, or were you pretty comfortable with what was going on?
Yeah, we have a hazing policy, like I talked about earlier, and it wasn't like have to double check. I mean, we see our guys all the time, right? And we have a large staff, and we got the 10 accountable coaches, but we have the GAs, the analysts, the quality control guys, and we got the Darian Harris's world, the operations people, we got the equipment people, you got the nutrition people, you got the trainers, you got the strength staff. I mean, we're surrounding these guys, so we know who we have on our team, what's going on with our players.
The idea that you wouldn't is almost...
Excuse me?
The idea that a head coach wouldn't know what's going on is almost beyond the pale to you, or no?
Yeah, I mean, it's what I'm saying is with our team, you know, we have a close-knit team, and we have an anti-hazing policy, and it's laid out to the players. When we have our team meeting on Wednesday to start camp, we're going to hit it again, you know, and we're going to emphasize it. And so we're going to communicate it. I just think that makes too much sense. You know?
The division's going away, and I know that's a year from now. Do you like that for the Big Ten? Do you like the North, or do you miss the East, so to speak?
I'm not going to be a sentimental guy in that regard. I mean, we're still going to have a tough schedule, right? You know, but I'm not going to be wishing that it was, that we could go back to that. I'm not going to try to hold on to that.
Positive energy spirits when it comes to you know, I try to get there first. Obviously, life. Is that the balance you
It depends on what our needs are. I haven't told the coaching staff, hey, we need this percentage of high school guys, this percentage of transfers. We're in a win now culture. Okay, and so we have to do what we have to do every year to build a team, put the best team out there we can, to fill the needs that we can. We have to be able to do that and build a winning culture along the way. You know, and it's a challenge. You know, but we came in the door playing catch up. You know, we were playing catch up. You know, when this opportunity came up, I had several people tell me, do not take that job. You go into the conference 8th or 9th walking in the door, and you have no facilities. Okay, so we know that there's challenges, and we know it takes time to build a program and get to where we want it. And you know, the portal is part of it. You know, and from year to year, how many guys we get out of high school, how many guys we get out of portal, it remains to be seen. But we start in the high school ranks.
How do you know when you've caught up?
What's that?
How do you know when you've caught up?
Well, you know, when you're competing, when you're winning the games you're supposed to win. Okay, you're competing and winning games with the best teams in the conference, and you can do that on a consistent basis. At that point, you can say, that the program is consistently at this level.
How close do you think you are to that?
We'll see. You asked me about a year.
Last year you were here, you said pass defense couldn't get any worse, and then, 2 interceptions obviously didn't go that way.
That's why I hired Jimmy Salgado. I made it worse.
With all the youth in there, I guess what's your outlook for the position, given the veteran losses like Xavier, Mel,
Yeah, I mean, we're athletic, we're young, we're bigger, we're longer. We've recruited well. We've brought in a lot of players in those positions, and we've upgraded the front seven, and we've signed quite a few pass rushers. And we've developed some pass rushers. That's going to help. I mean, rush and coverage, work together. We have to play really good on defense to have a chance to win games this year. So I'm expecting those guys to play better. But you know, we had a lot of guys that got a lot of experience last year. Some on-the-job training is going to pay off for us this season.